Hello, Liberty. I am back with another 2020 Senior Spotlight, and I am here with one of my favorite teachers from elementary school. It is Mrs. Lieberman. Hello, Mrs. Lieberman.
Oh my God, what an introduction. That just made my heart sing. Truly, truly, truly. And
There's no way for me to talk about you and not say that you were one of my favorites, because you absolutely were. And I still remember projects that I did in, fourth grade with you, and or fifth grade, I believe, actually. You can't forget those. And if you can remember it this far along in your life, then it was obviously great.
That's the biggest compliment that you could get as a teacher, because for a teacher like you, who's so dynamic, who I'm so proud of what you've done for all of these students in this community and for my own children as well. But for you to evolve the way you have, but the way you still remember from so many years ago, makes teaching the greatest profession out there. It really is.
Yeah, it's fun. Now I'm starting to have the experiences that you have with Melissa and I coming back and being teachers. I have some students that are starting to become teachers, and
it's the best feeling in the world. I mean, just to think, like, I can remember you with your long hair. I can remember the invention conventions that we did. I remember Melissa, Mrs. What's her new name now? Ross. What? Forgot. Yeah, Deal. Being in the class with you, and both superstars, especially in math. Doesn't it figure? Doesn't it?
I actually still, to this day, the invention part, you made us do the inventions, and I should have patented I had something for swinging a baseball bat so that you could see that you were making a nice, good swing. And I was very proud of it at the time, and I probably should have done more with it.
I was more proud of that. I even have a videotape, but it's not even a videotape. It's like a VCR tape, because I was showing you guys, and if I can find it, I would. I'll never forget Lindsay Ratner also, and she teaches in Fallsburg. She put bunnies were chewing her shirts. So she made like little clips with carrots hanging off. Do you remember that? So the bunny would eat the vegetables. And then I can't remember, one of them she was so tiny and she couldn't reach the clothes in her closet. And maybe it was Melissa. I think it was Melissa
I hope it was Melissa.
I think it was Melissa that made the hanger really, really tall so she could reach all her clothes. That should have been patented also.
That's amazing. I literally make fun of her and her height in the nicest way possible after 35 years of friendship. Every chance I get, I rag on her for being so short.
Yeah, adorable.
So, Mrs. Lieberman, before we start with the seniors, how are you doing? How are you adapting to being at home?
Well, I'll be really honest with you. I went from being an empty nester with no kids at home, having not only my kids at home, but my daughter's fiance also now for a couple weeks. So I have a really full house. And I love having the family at home, because when do you really have the time to be together as a family? So I think on the flip side, people have to really think about bonding with their family and realizing that we race through life and we don't always take a step back to really enjoy the loved ones around us. And this is our top opportunity to do so.
Yeah, that is a really nice thing that you get to have that you wouldn't have had if this pandemic weren't happening. So finding the positive is always very important. So
but the negative is all cooking and cleaning.
You tell them I said they better clean up after themselves.
Yes.
They better clean up after themselves, especially Jeremy.
That's right. You know exactly. That's right.
Oh,
You
man.
pegged that one.
Well, so we're here to talk about the seniors, and you said you have a couple memories of this class. Can you tell us about what you remember
Yeah,
of them?
yeah. I would love to. Yeah, I would love to. This is a very special class because the year before I had this class, I was pulled out of being a regular classroom teacher, which I was for 20 years, and I was asked to be the writing coach of the entire elementary school, which made me push into classes and spread my knowledge now, not just with the 25 or 30 kids that were in my class, but with all the 120 kids that might be in a grade. So I have sprinkles of kids that I know in each class because I would give a mini lesson to a class and then work with a small group of kids. So my biggest memory I can remember, Nicole Blaze, she wrote the most dynamic story about a watermelon that came to life and that the seeds were like a family inside the belly of the watermelon. And if you know what, I'm such a hoarder, not in my house, but in my desk at school, that I'm sure I have Nicole's essay somewhere in the bottom of my desk.
Yeah.
I can also remember Liam Keaveney. Oh my God. When I would have a writing conference with Liam and I'd get down on their level eye to eye and I would help them with their writing, and he would be fascinated with my rings or my bracelets or my necklace or any bling bling I was wearing. He would say, Mrs. Lieberman, where did you get that? I have to buy that for my mother. I'll never forget that. Never in a million years. And Kylie Bachman, always so sweet, always reserved. Same White Sulphur crew that are together today. We're evolving in those years, conferencing in their writing pieces together. Kylie always being overly diligent and trying her best in every way. And then you have the Roth twins, each one trying to outdo each other in a writing piece, a little competition. And then, of course, you have Julia Austin with her bright eyes and her smile, like always engaged. Like if you would read a story as your anchor text and use the story to help them with their writing, she was fascinated. She was like glued to it with those eyes. It was a very special class with a lot of special kids. And I know that I'm missing a lot of names of all of you, but just know that you are a special class, a class that I will always remember because you instilled in me also the idea that, wow, I can be a coach and I can be enrichment and AIS teacher at the same time, which to more than just my 30 kid population. And I thank all of you for empowering me because nothing was there was no better feeling than walking into a classroom and having all of them like excited about writing and wanting to write. And then if I couldn't make it that day, disappointed that I wasn't coming in. So that really blessed me. I was blessed to have this class. I really was.
Yeah, well, I mean, as someone who has had you as a teacher, they are lucky if they got to spend even a second with you. When I started doing these, and you and I ended up in a meeting together, and I remember right afterwards, I reached out to you and I said, you know, you have to do one of these with me, because I think anybody who knows you through Liberty throughout the years, you are just this bright ball of light, that just you just make everybody feel a little bit more special than they might have. Oh no, we lost you for a second. We lost you. Hopefully she's coming back in here because I have more to say to Mrs. Lieberman. Hold please, everybody. This hasn't happened yet. Hopefully she'll figure out how to get back. Oh no. Well, wait a second. Just in case she doesn't get back in, I'm going to finish what I was saying. Mrs. Lieberman is a very special, special person. Liberty would not be the same without her. And when the time comes and she does decide to retire, it's going to be a huge loss for everybody. So Mrs. Lieberman, I just want to make sure you knew that. I am glad that she got to address the class and talk to them about how special they are, because that's a really important piece, is you knowing how she feels about all of you, even the ones that she may not have mentioned face to face. Okay, so I'm going to sign off just in case she doesn't get back on. But thank you for being a part of this with me, Mrs. Lieberman. You'll see this at some point. And everybody else, I'll be back with another 2020 Senior Spotlight very soon.